Now we have with us Annette,
Yes,
I'm sorry,
that's okay.
from Yelp, Michigan. And you guys had a booth down here.
We did. We had kind of a charging station and an app downloading station. If you had the Yelp app or wanted to download it, which for free, we were helping folks do that and also giving away some pretty sweet swag. So
I did see some of the sweet swag. What were you giving away?
we had some sunglasses. We had some of these awesome sweatbands.
Oh, whoa,
Blood,
whoa.
Yelp, and tears stuff. And then some chapstick and some little goodies like I Yelp Burst Detroit stickers and whatnot.
So I have a question here right off the bat. With Yelp, I can remember it being just a sticker in a window at one point, and I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And now it's like, if you don't know what Yelp is, you're like, well, why don't you know what Yelp is? Everybody's using it. How has that transition been for you? Like, what's brought you? How has social media helped you do that?
Well, one thing that we really strive for at Yelp is to create a sense of community, both online and offline, and we really use social media to get to that. You know, obviously, Yelp itself, people writing reviews, getting to know one another through our talk section, and, you know, just commenting and complimenting one another on the things that they write about and where they go. And to go off of that, we also host events offline for community members as well. So we try and really engage people to participate in their area, and then we post about it on Facebook, on Twitter, through Yelp, on our Yelp community blog, just getting people talking about it and seeing what we do locally and getting them involved. So it's been really fun seeing the community grow and expand and welcome new members in.
What was your guys' kind of your goal for coming here today and for having a booth down here?
Well, what was really different about this particular event versus a lot of other events, we do like street festivals or like art fairs and things, and actually there are a great number of people who are like, I'm not really sure what Yelp is.
Yeah.
Here, pretty much everybody knew who we were, which is really great. So what we were able to really focus on is making sure that people are familiar with the app, that they know that we do events around town, that they know how to download and use the things that we have available for smartphones. So.
Now, what kind of events? Because actually, I use Yelp, but I don't know about Yelp events. What kind of events do you guys do?
Well, we do a handful of different events. We do CMYEs, which are short for Community Manager Yelp events. So anyone who in the community is able to go to those. And we do things from like going to see a movie at the Redford Theater. We do an international supper club every couple of months where we meet at a different ethnic restaurant and have dinner together.
That sounds great. Sign us up for that, please.
Yeah,
Social media
definitely.
Meltdown.
On our events page, you're able to check those out. And then we also have what we call our Elite Squad, and they're really active members of the community that are really engaged in participating in what's happening in Metro Detroit. They're kind of tastemakers of the site. And so after you're kind of active on the site, writing reviews, participating in talk, things like that, they're invited to join the Elite Squad, and we host events for them once every month or so.
Okay.
And that varies from like 5-course beer dinners to we just had like a family fun day where at Midway Sport and Entertainment where people got to ride go-karts and go batting cages and things like that.
That kind of encourages community to be a very involved community.
Absolutely.
That's a good way to go about that.
Yeah, and just, we have a lot to offer in Metro Detroit, and it's just to be able to find new places and try them, that's, it's nice when you get to go with a group,
It is. How are you seeing this? I mean, because there's so much going on in the city of Detroit, especially restaurants, but people don't know about it. What kind of role does Yelp play in getting this out?
Well, we have a weekly newsletter, comes out every Wednesday. I write it, so I like to say it's kind of an email from me every week, hipping people to different, things. And each week is a different theme. So one week we did, in honor of Bacon Fest, which we were a sponsor of, we did a pork issue, and it was all like awesome. Really awesome kind of bacon-y, pork-themed things. For the vegans, we've done a vegan issue, and we're always highlighting restaurants or businesses locally. They're not chains, small businesses, independent places around Metro Detroit. And then we also do every couple of months like a new restaurant roundup or new business roundup, letting people know about things that are starting. So it's yelp.com/weekly to sign up for that.
Good plug.
I'm
So it's like
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
That sounds great, because Yelp was always something that's like, I'm hungry, I want to go out to eat, I don't know what I'm in the mood for, go to Yelp, figure it out. I haven't viewed it as a kind of a destination to kind of plan my weekend or anything like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's what you're kind of working towards here.
Yeah, I mean, just, creating that offline community and also being able to use it for other things as well. Like, restaurants actually only make up 25% of the businesses listed on Yelp.
Okay.
So there's also shopping, there's also doctors, dentists. Like, if you need a new carpenter or plumber, those are things you can always look up and Yelp about as well. So restaurants are kind of our largest, number of reviews, but you can use it for parks, anything, really.
Anything, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I learned something new every day.
Primarily used it just for restaurants.
That's what most people think, but it's only 25% of.
So how long has it been like that? Has it been all the time?
Pretty much. It just kind of took off with the sense that people like to talk. When you think about the things that you do most often, probably go out to eat more than you do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, you don't need a plumber every other day. So that's why maybe you don't necessarily think about it in that context. But that's why restaurants is what you look for most frequently. But if you need those things, we have those too.
That is excellent. That's really excellent.
It is. And so, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, are there specific challenges in the Detroit area that you've had to face compared to other areas?
I think just given that we're so spread out and that the suburbs are also so active and rich themselves, it's good in the sense that there's never any shortage of things to talk about.
Yeah.
But if we're hosting an event in, say, Royal Oak, it might be tough, or even downtown Detroit, maybe somebody who's active in Ann Arbor for them to come out. It's a little spread around. So we try and hit different parts of town. I always try and do something within Detroit proper once a month. If not more so, just to make sure people are coming and enjoying the city itself. Yeah.
Excellent.
Do you have any really great suggestions for downtown Detroit?
Ooh, boy, oh boy.
Things that have been hitting hard?
Yeah, I really love just going for a really good Michigan beer at Grand Trunk Pub. They do really cool beer dinners too with local breweries. Those are really worth checking out. They're $40 and it's 4 courses, and they make the beer food with the beer and things like that. So that's really neat. And then I think that that's good for kind of a night out before you go to a game or something like that. And then for something a little fancier, I always really love Alice Global Bistro down on Woodward. One of my favorites. Definitely a Detroit Restaurant Week staple for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Check that one out.
Definitely.
I heard about that one.
It's good.
What about just a day of recreation? If you're just going to go and hang out, some kind of...
I've recently not rediscovered, but I guess in a way Belle Isle, because I went there a lot when I was little, and then I kind of didn't go for a very long time, and I've spent a lot of time there recently. I've had events there and whatnot, and it's just such a great place that people don't really think about going to. I think, especially if you're in the suburbs. But the conservatory is so beautiful this time of year.
I've just been there recently.
I was going nuts on Instagram when I was just there last week, and on a beautiful sunny day, it's just so blue with all the water around you. It's really cool. And then you can bike, and there's playgrounds. And
I think it for older generations, it has kind of a bad stigma, Belle Isle, because it was so beautiful, and then it was not beautiful.
So beautiful, yeah.
And now it's starting to make a comeback. And
yeah,
I remember I had said to my parents I was going to Belle Isle, and they both looked at me like I was out of my mind.
Yeah.
Why would you go there? And then I had just gotten a new camera, so I came home and I'm showing them the pictures, and they're like,
that's Belle Isle.
I had no idea. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Two
and
good
I'm like,
suggestions.
I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Riverwalk's also really great too.
The Riverwalk is great.
Yeah.
And that they've been doing an awesome job at even expanding it even farther.
Yes. And now they're going to do the greenways link together, and it's going to be awesome when they finish all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, if I can suggest one, the Wheelhouse Detroit, which is on the Riverwalk.
Yes,
you can rent bikes. They do guided bike tours throughout the city. In October, they do a haunted bike tour, which is one of my favorites. You get to go to a bunch of different places that, where Houdini died. And
really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he died in Detroit.
Yeah, pancreatitis, I believe.
No way.
I did know that. I guess I didn't realize it was here in our fair city.
This is amazing.
Like or maybe he got, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he got sick.
Don't somebody Wikipedia.
No, I believe he died. No, I believe he died
Gotcha.
Because people are saying that, I don't know. Anyways, there's a whole story about him. You also stop at a bar, which
that
might
has
be
nothing
why
to do with
I can't
Yelp,
remember.
though. That's Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I'm sure it has great reviews on Yelp because the Wheelhouse is a really great really great little business that's on the river. And like I said, rent bikes, buy bikes, tours.
We did a whole bike issue for the weekly Yelp newsletter, and we talked about Wheelhouse on there, and it has great reviews.
It sounds like that's something that's kind of worth subscribing to. Is it an email? Or
it's an email, comes out every Wednesday, and it has about 5 to 6 events happening that week in Detroit, and then usually about 9 to 12 businesses that are on a theme.
Weird.
Okay,
I'll
and how
definitely
again do you sign up for it?
Just go to yelp.com/weekly.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you so
very
much.
Thanks for stopping by. No problem.
Handshakes.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.